Hello super friends and welcome to DC TV Talk, and in today's video I'm going to be covering a little bit more stuff from San Diego Comic-Con, which is of course going on right now in San Diego, of course. And instead of just sticking to DC TV, for this weekend I'm thinking of expanding out and covering a few different things and different topics to what I would normally cover here, just to see what you guys are interested in and to test the waters. So in today's video I'm going to be discussing everything we learned about Iron Fist Season 2. So let's discuss. So if you'd like to stay up to date with all the most recent Comic-Con news, especially regarding our favourite DC TV shows, be sure to subscribe and to hit that notification bell so you are notified when there is a new video posted from me about Comic-Con. So make sure you stay tuned for all the videos coming up this weekend. So Iron Fist was always the controversial one when it came to the Marvel Netflix universe. Obviously we had Daredevil, which was very well received, Jessica Jones, again very well received, Luke Cage I'd say was positively received on the most part, and then Iron Fist was the one that instantly went down. It got extremely negative reviews from critics, and then it kind of got softened a little bit when it released wide, but for the most part a lot of people did not enjoy Iron Fist as they found it slow, boring and repetitive. And while I can definitely agree with those connotations, I do believe that Iron Fist Season 1 is nowhere near as bad as people say it is. I think it's a decent show. I think it was a decent start to this character and to this show. I mean, yes, the fight choreography was a bit iffy. I think Finn Jones was a bit inconsistent at times. But overall, I did have a good time watching Iron Fist Season 1, and I did binge it, and I really enjoyed it. And this made me very optimistic going into Season 2 because we have a new showrunner. Scott Buck was basically fired from the show after Inhumans, and we got a new showrunner, new vision, and I think under this new supervision, Iron Fist is going to be in a very good place, and it seems like that is going to be coming true with Season 2. Also, outside of Iron Fist, we have seen Danny Rand pop up in different parts of the Marvel Netflix universe. He, of course, was a member of the Defenders, which he was much better there than he was in Iron Fist Season 1. And very recently, he showed up in an episode of Luke Cage Season 2, and he was the best he has ever been. He was excellent in that episode, and that is one of the best episodes of Luke Cage Season 2. And I think this has just been hinting that, you know, Finn Jones, he has been improving, and also under new showrunners and also under new writers, this is going to be a much better Danny Rand personalization than what we got in Season 1, and it seems like we're definitely going to be following through with that in Iron Fist Season 2. Now, we got a tiny little trailer that was released for this. It was only 50 seconds long. It doesn't really show much, but it basically just shows Danny being in a back alley in New York, going after some criminals, and obviously this is after basically the oath that he swore to Matthew Murdock, aka Daredevil, before he died in the Defenders. Danny Rand is now the protector of New York. He's now the vigilante of New York. You know, he's basically taken on Daredevil's role, and we basically just see him doing some fighting. He takes on a few guys at once, and he also gets to use the Iron Fist, and it's really cool. I mean, this doesn't really show much, like I say, but we get to see a little bit of dialogue from Finn Jones, which was very good, very epic, and also we get to see the fight choreography, which is definitely a huge step up this time around what was in Season 1. We've started to see it improve as the show's gone on, such as, you know, like I said, in the Defenders and in Luke Cage. We start to see it like develop a little bit and get a bit better, but here it looks a lot better, especially because they've actually got the stunt coordinator from Creed and Black Panther to actually do the stunt choreography for this show and for this season, and I think you can see that because it was just much better instantly. And at the very end he gets to use the Iron Fist and he slams it into the ground, which was awesome because we all love it when he uses the Iron Fist, and that was awesome. Again, the trailer doesn't show much, but it was still really cool just to see that action and see the improvement this early on. Also, at the very end of the trailer, we did get the confirmation of the release date, which is September the 7th, so it's coming slightly earlier than what I would have thought. I was kind of thinking around October, but we're getting it on September the 7th. We were getting Iron Fist Season 2 exclusively on Netflix, and I think this is a good release slot. This was kind of the same sort of slot they gave the Defenders around there, so I think that's a good slot. And this is also, actually, it's a lot more closer to what they gave Luke Cage Season 1 when that came out back in 2016. Quite close to that September slot. And I think this works quite well. I think September's a good slot to release this. It's going to be spaced out quite far. You know, they've spaced out the Marvel Netflix shows quite well this year in comparison to last year, and also in comparison to what they did with the Marvel movies this year. They have actually managed to space them out. You know, we had Jessica Jones in March, then we had Luke Cage in June, and then Iron Fist in September. I think it's quite well spaced out, and the release date I'm quite happy about personally. In terms of other details, in the run-up to Comic-Con, the Iron Fist Twitter account was releasing these different little infographics that were showing the Iron Fist logo, and specifically it was showing within the Iron Fist logo the Steel Serpent logo, which hints at the fact that the Steel Serpent could be a main antagonist or a villain within Iron Fist Season 2. Now, the Steel Serpent is actually Davos, if you remember, that was kind of like Danny's buddy from Kunlun, who kind of reappeared in the show in Season 1. He actually becomes the Steel Serpent within the comics, and he is one of the Iron Fist's kind of biggest villains, so he seems to be making an appearance here, although I'm not sure if he's going to be the main villain or if he's going to be, you know, perhaps a supporting villain who will maybe grow into the main villain for Season 3. All I know is that Davos will be filling that role, and he is coming back next season, and he's been on set with Finn Jones, so he's definitely around, and he's definitely filming some stuff, so we can expect the Steel Serpent to show up at some point. It's just the extent of his role is what we're unsure of right now. Also, if you remember back to the season finale of Iron Fist Season 1, we did see Joy Meacham meet with Davos, aka the Steel Serpent, and we saw them kind of conversing and talking about things, and this does hint that perhaps Joy Meacham is going to come back as a villain next season, which I'm definitely down for. I think that Jessica Ralph did a really good job with the material she was given last season, and I really like the idea of her actually becoming a villain and working with Davos, especially if her story is tied into his. I think that's really cool. Now, I'm unsure about the Meachams going into next season because they don't seem to be as prevalent in Season 2 as they were in Season 1. Obviously, they were a huge part of Season 1 with Harold and Joy and Ward. I haven't really heard anything about Ward, and I haven't heard anything about Joy either, so it's quite difficult to kind of think where these characters are going to go, which is a shame. I really hope Ward comes back because I love the actor who plays him, Tom Pelphrey. I think he's fantastic. But yeah, it's interesting to kind of figure out where the Meachams are going to show up and if they're even going to play a role, because it seems like they're maybe eliminating those characters as much as they possibly can. But I feel like Joy Meacham showing up is definitely a possibility, and they must show up at some point, right? Also, we found out the character who Alice Eve is going to be playing. We knew Alice Eve was in the show pretty much since it went into production, and we knew she was going to be a part of Season 2. We knew she was going to be playing an antagonist of some kind. We just didn't know who that antagonist was. Well, it was revealed on the Comic-Con panel that she is going to be playing Thypoid Mary. I don't know a lot about the character. It's quite a deep-cut Marvel comic character. What I do know is that I'm pretty sure she is a Daredevil villain. So they're taking a Daredevil villain and giving them to Iron Fist. I mean, this is fine. This is not, you know, this is nothing new to the MCU. You know, they always swap things around. Like, you know, Ghost in Ant-Man the Wasp, for example, is an Iron Man villain. But they swap things around all the time. So I'm perfectly fine with this. And Alice Eve seems to be a very fun actress. Seems to be having quite a lot of fun in this role. And that's what I always enjoy. Because it seems like, you know, Marvel, Netflix, although the MCU may have a villain problem a lot of the time, it seems like the Marvel Netflix series have really nailed them down, especially when you look at villains like, you know, when you look at Kingpin, or when you look at the Punisher, or Killgrave. I think that you really get some good villains in there, even in Luke Cage, you know, with Cottonmouth and Bushmaster. You get some really good villains, and hopefully this will be the new one that we'll get to see here. And the final little detail we got regarding Iron Fist Season 2 is that Misty Knight, or Simone Missick, who plays Misty Knight, is joining the cast. Now, I don't know to what extent she's going to be in this show. Obviously, Misty Knight is a character from Luke Cage, and she's wonderful on Luke Cage. I think she's maybe my favourite character. I think she's absolutely fantastic. I just love her charisma and her attitude that she brings to the show. So to bring that over to Iron Fist is going to be really awesome. Basically, what's going on is she's called to Chinatown. I think that this is mostly based in Chinatown within New York, and she's called there, and because she knows Danny and she knows Colleen, obviously Danny and Colleen are the ones who gave her her robotic arm that she gets in Luke Cage Season 2. She's going to be able to get in contact with them and help them out for a little bit. Now, in the panel, they do specify her as a guest star, so I guess she might only be in one episode, like Danny was in Luke Cage and like Carleen was in Luke Cage. But most importantly, what this means is we are going to get more Daughters of the Dragon team-up, which is, of course, the team-up between Misty and Colleen. This is going to be awesome. This is what we all love. We got a brilliant bar fight scene in Luke Cage Season 2 between those two characters, so to see them come back again and bring this up, it's going to be great. Hopefully, we'll get a spin-off show at some point, but I think it's going to be awesome, and I'm really happy just to see Simone Missick getting around a bit more to the other Marvel Netflix shows, because I think she is truly wonderful and one of the best actresses within the Marvel Netflix shows, and easily the best of Luke Cage. But that is everything we know about Iron Fist Season 2 coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. Let me know all your thoughts about all this news in the comment section down below. Are you happy about this? Are you excited for Iron Fist Season 2? Or were you completely put off by Season 1 that you're just going to completely disregard this series? Personally, I'm really hyped for Iron Fist Season 2 just because I want to see what they can do with a new showrunner and what they're able to do with new writers and, you know, just basically starting afresh, really. Just to see where they can go with it. And especially because every time we've seen Danny Rand after Iron Fist, he's just been better and better. So to see where he's going to end up in Iron Fist Season 2, I'm very excited. And I think this is going to be awesome. Also, if you guys want to see more Comic-Con content from me, be sure to subscribe. I'll be covering loads of different Comic-Con stuff. I'm thinking of doing some other things here and there. You know, I might do some stuff on the DC films, and obviously on Sunday you'll be getting all the DC TV stuff. So make sure you stay subscribed and hit that notification bell for all of that. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like, it'll help me out a lot. And share this video with anyone and everyone you know who loves DC TV and get them to join the community. And as always guys, please subscribe for your latest content on Supergirl, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow and Black Lightning. And with all that said guys, I hope to see you again in my next video.